welcome to the Diesel Power Challenge presented by XTP. It's fuel economy test time. That means our competitors will head more than 100 miles into the Rocky Mountains.
Let the air pressure out for drag racing, so should have filled them up last night, but I'm doing it this morning right away.
So the third and final day of the Diesel Power Challenge begins here at a truck stop on the truck scales. We're going to weigh all of our competitors. They're going to fuel all their trucks up, and then we're going to take a 150-mile ride, and our destination is going to be the pulling course. We're going to hook these trucks to a weighted pulling sled for a test of brute strength, as they're all going to try to pull that sled as far as they can down a 300-foot course.
Taking out these drive flanges so he has no front axle.
By taking the drive flanges out, you're not spinning the front axle, so it should get better fuel economy on the drive.
The strategy with that, lifting it up a little bit on its side, getting more fuel in the tank after it was already full. So it foams up, comes down, drive back on, put it on some blocks, get a little more fuel in there.
So as you know, we had some snow last night. We're taking you guys to Silverton, so we're going up through the Eisenhower Tunnel in the pass. So for those of you who haven't been out west before, we're crossing the Continental Divide. So we're taking you on the other side of the continent. All right, so we're gonna be led by Harold with BD Diesel. You know, it's been interesting watching these guys and some of the strategies that they've been employing. In fact, today for our mileage drive at the gas station, they were pushing them around the parking lot. With the quality of vehicles that we have, it's no wonder that we have 5 vehicles vying for first place right now. And it's a tight field. It's gonna be a great end of the day. Literally, any of these guys could walk away with it. We're that close. So these guys are excited, they're anxious, they're nervous, and I think they're gonna wring out every last bit of performance from these trucks today.
Literally made it to the top of the mountain. We're at the Eisenhower Tunnel, but things are not happy. The truck very hot.
Yeah, I'm not going to risk a new turbo and a new motor over it. I'm not high enough in the standings to make it worth it, so I think I'm just going to end up forfeiting and going back home.
A tough break, but we're glad you hung in as long as you did.
Thank you.
Well, as you've seen, we just completed a beautiful 150-mile cruise through the Rocky Mountains. We went up through the Eisenhower Tunnel, turned around, and came back. Now we're at the fuel station. Everybody behind me is real interested watching that gas pump because what they're seeing is how many gallons of fuel are being inputted into each truck. We lost one truck on the 150-mile ride. That was Shiloh Ellingford in that great Duramax-powered Chevrolet. The thing just suffered a major leak of coolant. It got very hot, and he shut it down and gave up early. So we're down to 7 trucks, which will be hooking up to the pulling sled later on today for our final competition of this grueling week here at the 2014 Diesel Power Challenge.
Lavon Miller did a great job coming in third in his Cummins-powered Ram. West Beach came in second in his Power Stroke Ford, and it was Danik St. Pierre, the French-Canadian competitor, in the Cummins-powered Ram coming in first. Interestingly, it was St. Pierre who went on a 3,000-mile driving loop to get to the Diesel Power Challenge in the first place, and that must have given him plenty of time to tune that fuel map.
It's always the final test at the Diesel Power Challenge. Let's go truck pulling. We have 7 trucks remaining, and there's nothing left to lose. These guys will leave it all on the table this afternoon because this is the end of the road for the Diesel Power Challenge. Either go big here or go home empty-handed. Those are your only 2 options. All right, here with David Kennedy. David, this is not the first time these guys have had anything hooked to their trucks this week, but it makes that 11,000-pound skid steer look like a toy as we get this monstrous sled behind us. Tell me a little bit about what we're looking at here.
Sure. So this is really Diesel's first motorsport, right? We've drag raced, we've dynoed, but sled pull, this is really where Diesel competition began. So you're hooking up to basically a 30 to 50,000 pound trailer, and with this foot, there's no wheels in the front here. So at some point, this will become impossible to move. The further the guy pulls it, the harder it gets.
Okay, so Ryan Anderson going to be our first puller, that big F350 from Michigan. He's having a pretty solid week so far. I don't know if he's performed exactly at the level he wanted to, but truck's still alive and he's still got a shot at it. One of the biggest trucks, if not the biggest truck we got left.
Yeah, that's a great looking truck. If I have to talk about what my favorite truck here is, I'd take that one home. So he better watch his keys. Especially if he does well in the sled pull, we'll know he's multifaceted.
Looks like it's go time here. We get Anderson's truck has been vacated, just him sitting there. We got green lights on the sled. And a green flag at the starting line and down here at the 300-foot mark, where we will see if he can make it. Full pull is 300 feet. We are right at the marker. Very ginger start here for Anderson. Going to try to maintain traction, then get the wheel speed up, and he lays into it. You know, he had trouble yesterday getting that truck happy on the drag strip, and that may be what we saw the result of that yet again here.
So everybody's allowed the opportunity for repull as long as they pull out of the throttle before the 75-foot mark. Other than that, they only get one run.
Okay, so Anderson is going to repull. You hear him now starting to spool the turbos up. And again, he's going to walk that thing gently off of the starting line, and away we go. Oh, man. Well, Anderson rolls to a stop somewhere around 200 feet, and obviously not what he was looking to do there. Okay, Ryan Anderson, we saw you went out once, you repulled, and you said transmission was not happy with what was going on out there?
No, I think second to third shift is pretty much done. It goes, but it lags hard, it's slipping, and it falls right off.
So Dan Howard is our next competitor and the only guy with a stick shift. The interesting thing for Howard, he has to pick a gear and stay in it. Trying to tear the front axle from underneath it. Violent. Boy, oh boy, he pulled that thing 260 odd feet. Well, Dan Howard, that was a pretty violent exercise out there. You got the truck off, it was bouncing bad, you settled it back down and gave it the wood again.
Yeah, we there towards the end, I just said screw it and hit the NOS. Figured hopefully she'd try to flatten out a little bit. She's never done that to me before, but we tried a little different setup. We're not going to try it again.
I'll tell you what, like I just said to you before we went live on the camera, that ring and pinion earned itself a beer tonight.
Yeah, we tried to build the drivetrain as strong as we could. Obviously, we at least built the drivetrain strong.
Mission accomplished. Thanks, Dan. And there he goes. He gives it the oats at about 100 feet. And Matt Kaufman, a big head of steam, and the truck is working perfectly. Here he comes well past 300 feet. Wow. And Matt, the wheel was spinning inside the tire. Did you see that? Holy cow. Matt Kaufman, man, we talked to you the other day. He said he didn't do a lot of sled pulling. You look like a pro. That was a brilliant pull out there. The truck was nice and flat. Looked like he gave it the wood at about 100 feet, and it was happy with it.
Yep, yeah, it got a little bit hoppy there when I lifted, but I put back to the floor. So
when you came to a halt, the rear rims were actually spinning inside the tires. Those tires had some pretty good grip to them.
Thought I smelled some burning rubber.
Well, good performance, and you almost took it all the way out the back door, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Troy Sankey in a truck that is set up for truck pulling. It has a very steep gear ratio in it, 456s, which will be interesting to listen to how many gears this transmission shifts or where it ends up with that 456 ratio. It's going to be deep into the 6-speed Allison that's backing the Duramax. When you watch that thing, it pulled the front end up a little bit as it transferred the weight. Obviously a guy that's done this before. He's feeding the thing throttle to keep it steady. Oh, the truck started changing. Really good run so far, and here he comes back. Oh! And the truck digs in.
The bed shake on that.
About 275 feet, the bed was shaking big time. So Lavon Miller was here last year as a spectator, working with Banyan Woolsey, helping out on his truck, and he had so much fun, he said, man, I got to come here and do this myself. 6.7 liter Cummins in this truck. Big wheel speed immediately. Now, he doesn't seem to have the same head of speed Kaufman had coming up to this point in the course. Oh, wow, here he goes.
Go down the back fence.
And that thing is bleeding all over the place. Wow.
Yeah! Yeah, boys!
Okay, so just a coolant line came off the truck down there, and it bled out pretty good. Well, forget all that for a second. Dude, you just hammered this thing. You were ahead by 20, 30 feet of what Kaufman did. That was an impressive run.
Thank you. Yeah, it felt amazing. It got in a bad bounce. I was a little bit scared, but you only do this once, so you stay in it and hope for the best.
Well, Sean, that was certainly the run of the pull so far. That was fantastic. He was into it. The thing starts puking coolant at the end. Didn't slow him down a bit.
No, I thought he was going to go straight out the back fence and straight on the highway. I kept waiting for him to stop. He did not slow down. The wide, low-profile Nitto terrain grapplers, you know, there's a lot of question about that tire choice, but here they hooked up really well, and obviously, you know, he made a great run.
And St. Pierre gets the truck wound up, and again, he walks out of the hole pretty easily. Keeps the truck under relatively low power. Oh man, big time shake at 100 feet. Certainly not the way he wanted that to go. Talked about these traction bars really tie that axle directly into the frame. It really is an illustration of how much that axle was trying to roll over, right?
Yeah, that was pretty violent.
We saw the truck shudder as it came to a stop, and it lost a lot of that rigidity like we talked about. These traction bars really tie that axle directly into the frame.
Them, vigorously trying to pull this off. I wonder if they're going to restart and do it without traction bars, but that's going to change the name of the game here. That's a whole different kind of challenge.
Well, looks like people break stuff here. It's part of the challenge, I guess.
The old saying, if you can't be good, be spectacular, may come right into play here, because this thing may be spreading parts out right across the course.
My favorite saying, why do one more? You do one too many.
So he's going to try to manage the bouncing. And we're going to watch that rear axle.
So far. There we go. He's still going, man.
Still going. He settled it down, and the truck's starting to dig in again.
Oh, unbelievable.
And that's, oh, man. And that is the end of that.
Yeah, I think that run is one and done in the books.
Well, there's one truck left, and that is defending champion West Beach, who we can say without too much worry of contradicting ourselves, he'll be handing that crown to somebody else tonight at the awards banquet. He's definitely an outside shot here as far as the scoring goes for a win, but I'm sure he wants to make a respectable run, and he is on it right from the get-go. The power stroke sounds fantastic. No real bouncing at all.
Yeah, he's going for it.
I'll tell you, whoa, baby. He's throwing stuff.
Backfire there, huh?
Finishes it off with a nitrous backfire, and that was, man, that was real close to where Miller ended up. Well, West Beach is smiling. I'm telling you what, the last truck we'll see in competition this year, we went out with a bang, literally a little nitrous pop there at the end.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. We gave it everything we had.
Matt Kaufman came in the third place finishing spot in his Cummins ramp. West Beach came in second in his mighty Power Stroke Ford, and it was Lavon Miller making his way farthest down the pulling course, and he put himself in strong contention for an overall championship. Well, the scores have been tallied, the work has been done, and the heavy lifting's over. Let's find out who the 2014 Diesel Power champion is.
In third place, St. Pierre with 572.7. In second place, Kaufman with 573.7. The winner, by a good margin, with 623.2, Lavon Miller.
Lavon Miller, the 2014 Diesel Power Challenge champion. Dude, take us through the week.
I can't describe how awesome it was. Just starting with the dyno, never in my life dreamed that I would win the dyno event. I was hoping to just do a solid finish and do a marathon. The torque of the big motor came through and didn't make me the winner of the horsepower, but made me the winner of the dyno event with the combined. And then going into the obstacle course and my power steering going out, I never figured I could be able to muster through a second place finish and something like that. And then in trailer drag race, a little overpowered it, came in fourth, I think. But then drag race was a challenge also because I couldn't slow it down. It just wanted to go fast. I put a baby tune in it and it wanted to go faster than the roll bar rule allowed me to. So it was just obstacles, and it really worked out well. But how everybody, all the different competitors were such good sports, it made it so much fun because nobody was, you weren't making anybody mad. Everybody was just going out and having a great time, and it was fantastic.
Danik St. Pierre came in third place with 572.7 points. Matt Kaufman was the runner-up with 573.7 points. And Lavon Miller, the 2014 Diesel Power Challenge champion, garnered 623.2 points. He'll be back in 2015 to defend his title against another crop of high-performance diesel trucks.